Bing! Just battling one of me demons. Ah! 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 All right. I'm here today to talk to you about caring and what it's like for someone who doesn't feel as though anyone cares. Right? I've been in that position, and I'm sure many of you have been in that position. Right? So the funniness is over now. Right? It will get funny because we have knock knock. Right? Now, I want everybody to understand something about me. My name is Justin Paul Betteridge. You can look it up. I don't care. Oh, well, I do care. I've got nothing to hide. When I say I've done things in my life that I'm not ashamed of, I'm not. But have I done things in my life that have disappointed me? Yep. And that can be an array of things. Didn't push myself enough. I didn't pay more attention. Things like that. But the world is a big place and there's a lot of people in it. And, you know, I think we all try to make a lot of people happy. We also have tried to appease people. We've tried to show compassion and understanding to some people that just don't deserve it, but given the circumstances that which have happened, the circumstances are disastrous. But to some people, they've brought it upon themselves. And I hear a lot about, you know, this saying of there's always two sides to a story. Yeah, and that's right. I 100% agree with that. There is two sides to a story. Now, just want to quickly explain, and I'd first like to do this, okay? And it goes like this. Yes! I love my channel. I'm proud of my subscribers to my channel, because what's happening on my channel is I have, and I'll name these people, I have a number of people, but two people in particular, you know, and also there's others, there's Paul, there's Andrew, there's Mad Cow, there's Mr. Opinion, I've got Gillian, I've got, look, you know who you are, and I do get back to you and everything. You know, I've just recently got Tom, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. You know, I've got Scroat, you know, Anthony. Look, I have an array of people. I have, you know, I spoke to a friend last night, David, who was one of the first people I met. Who came up to me at Geelong Harley and wanted a photo with me. And I'd only, you know, put out a couple of videos. I was, you know, I won't say I was nothing, but you know, I was there with a person who, you know, the spotlight was theirs and I wasn't to share it. But it just came about where David was there and his mate, and David reached out straight away and he said, no, mate, I want a photo with you. And then there was another bloke there, Scotty. And Scotty, if you're watching, I hope you're all right. I haven't heard from you for a while. But what my channel is now doing is, like Paul, for example, Paul and Andrew, they talk in the comments to each other on my channel about things. Paul lets me know about the earthquakes, you know, and Paul Andrew and I and a couple of others were very worried about Paul because we hadn't heard from him. And the last time I heard from him back then was he was in hospital, and I was very worried. We weren't sure if Paul had passed away, and there was no way of finding out. I reached out to a lot of people. How do I go about finding out? I don't know his surname. I don't know anything about this bloke. I just know him from the comments. Anyway, when Paul popped up again, so he must have been sick, or he suffers from depression, or just something in his life. He's just having a hard time, and he does what I do, and I curl up on the couch, and I don't call anyone. Oh, yeah, and a shout out to Steve, you know, behind the bars, and his crew at you know, their club. They invited me in. They welcomed me into their club to sit and talk. And Greg, sorry, how are you, Greg? Sorry, mate. So the names are coming. So I remember you all. But what I love about my channel is now what's happening is there seems to be this little community that are talking amongst each other, and it's not about anything serious. We're having a laugh, and I think that's what it's about, you know. And for example, is this: I recently did a video where I was in the city, and it's what I was getting across is there's all this money. Is the government's to spend all this money, you know, $600 million for the yes and no vote. You know, now we've got $5 billion going into cyber activity. We're having these, you know, these inquiries which cost hundreds of millions of dollars to just find out an answer, and no one's paying it back. And you know, it just amazes me that it's okay for these governments to think that we'll just spend this money. The Commonwealth Games, Andrews, we all know about that. That's going to be $1 billion before we're finished, and it's still growing. You know, and then, you know, Palaszczuk, she thinks it was degrading for the artist at the Herald Sun to depict her naked, really naked. I'll tell you what degrading is, and I've got the perfect story. It's not the perfect story; it's a fucking sad story about being naked. She was just naked in a cartoon. She wasn't naked. She wasn't naked. She didn't feel the elements of the weather, the outside, you know, weather. She didn't have to put up with the eye stares of being naked by people going, oh, like this or whatever. You know, none of that. But there's a lot of families and a lot of people in general that are going through that at the moment, because it's not that they're not working, that they just can't afford to sustain a home anymore, or, you know, there's something happened in a relationship and it's put one out. I think people forget just how dependent we are on each other, especially in a relationship environment, that if something goes wrong in a relationship, it's very easy to kick someone out, but it's not very easy for that person, even if they're working, to be able to go and find a residency or have friends that will take them in, especially this day and age. People are very careful because everyone has a problem. And that's true. Everyone has a problem. And no one wants to amplify their problems with someone else. I'm not saying people don't care, but we're distancing ourselves from other people's problems. We're aware of them. We're happy to sit down and have a latte and buy that person a coffee or buy them lunch. It's not what they want. They don't even want your money. They don't even want a fix. They just want to be just someone to sit there and just listen to them. And this is what happened. So that video I did in the city where I'm talking about the homeless and I'm talking about, you know, the genders and all this money, this money in inequality and for stuff that's not going. There's more important things to worry about. Anyway, I got this subscriber. He's been following me for a bit and he's watched all my videos. And I will say his name, but I won't give any reference around. His name's Tom. Now this man's been in the same job for 30 years. He has been married. He's got kids to another woman and he met another woman, right? Anyway, things went bad. And he reached out after that video and he said, I understand what you're saying, Justin, about in this day and age, it's disgusting. 2023, like Palaszczuk, right? So she happened to say 2023 and we're still playing games like this with naked depicting drawings. Really? Really? You know what's naked? You know what's raw? It's having nothing, but you're still working, but it's not enough to pay for a roof over your head. These people there's a lot of, you know how many people are working, living in their cars? Can you imagine how deflated that would be worse than having nothing? If you've got nothing, then you can sit down and go, well, I've got nothing, so I'm in this position because I have nothing. But imagine working in the same job for 30 years, still working, and living in your car, and going to work. You just got to sit there and you just go, how is this? I'm working, I'm paying tax. These men's shed and all these other, you know, men's helpline or suicide line or just social security help or whatever else like that. They can't help you because you're working. You're not completely destitute, hey? Hey, Oscar. That's just horrific. And I use the word horrific. It's horrific to the impact on your soul, on your own, your being as a person. Yeah, I know I'm working. I just need a hand. I mightn't be as low as someone else who's got nothing, but I've got something, and I don't want to end up with nothing. Can you just help me? So just get a rental. Just get somewhere so I can put my feet up and have a front door to close behind or walk in. Anyway, so Tom reached out to me on my channel. And this is what I like about my channel, and also I'm not boasting myself, I'm not boosting myself up there, but how I set my channel up. And that is this. I have been up and seen Andrew. He lives all the way up in Horsham. He's having a hard time sometimes, and I take the ride up there. I live in Reservoir. He lives in Horsham. I'll take the ride up there. It's nothing. The first time I saw Andrew, and he made me this belt. Here. Andrew made me this belt. Okay, it's called the Bogan's Bodyguard, right? Go get a pie. That's what he's put on it. Okay? And I went up there to see him the first time, with his mates and stuff. You might see the video where I'm up there and I went, this is the bloke I went up and who made me this belt, right? And anyway, so I went and saw Andrew. I know I'm sort of all over the place here, and I apologise for that. Anyway, as I was leaving, Andrew turned around to me and he said, "Oh, thanks for coming all this way." And I stopped dead in my tracks in front of his mates, Peter's son, Anthony and his son, and there was Peter there, right, and Andrew. And I turned around to Andrew and I said, it's not a long way, mate. It's only a step. I said, the long walk is when we don't see you again. If you understand that, that's the long walk. Where he's had enough. And no one wants that. I mean, I'll drive to the other side of the country. That to me is just a step. It's just a step. I'm utilising my time, and that's good use of time, right? To go and see someone for 10 minutes. Travel for 4 days to just go and see someone for 10, 20 minutes and then come home. It's a step. It shows them that if someone's willing to do that for me, it gives them that strength to go, well, you know what? I'm going to honour that, the time they put in, come and see me, to stay that amount of time, to travel all the way home again. I'm going to honour that. And that's what you're instilling in the person. If you give people time, they'll double it, even triple it. Just the small amount of time you've given them. You give them 5 minutes, I guarantee you that person's going to see that. And so long as you're not going there and showering them with gifts and make them feel whatever, no, you just go there and just hear them. But let them be, you've got to make sure that they're very appreciative of the time that it's taken you to get to them. Not the time that you spend with them, it's the time getting to them. And to me, if it's appreciated, it's a small step. It's a nothing. That's nothing. The dangerous one is when you're taking those long steps to a grave, and because someone's just, they're gone now. And when I would, and that shocked Andrew when I said that, and I said, well, it's true. And you know what? They all said, no, that's right. It is right. It is a small step. I went and saw Andrew recently, and while I was there, Jamie from Shepparton and Ash, he just happened to call because they saw the videos I put out, and I wasn't in a good space. Because of things that have happened between certain people. And it hurts. Being alone doesn't hurt, because that's going to happen in your life. What hurts people is being forgotten. And you're not alone, but you're forgotten. And you don't know if you've done something wrong. No one's talking to you. And you're asking the questions, and everyone's just very sheepish and moving around you. And yeah, so I wasn't in a good place because, you know, some people that just haven't been, you know, I don't know, that it's switched. And, you know, if you've done something, I'm a person where if you've done something wrong, you tell that person what they've done and then you see how they, depending on what it is they've done, of course. But anyway, Tom reached out to me after seeing that video of me in the city talking about, you know, what have we done and all for what, you know? And he told me his story. He'd been living in his car for 9 weeks and stuff. And I, you know, and he met me on a ride on Danny's Lifeline ride. And I remembered the bloke. As soon as I got there, I went and saw him in a park. And this man works. He trains. This man can get a loan from the bank. He's not destitute. He's got money in the bank. He just... He didn't need any money. He didn't need any food. You know, he was doing all the right things. He just needed someone to talk to. And I gave him some, I said to him straight out, I said, right, I'm here. I'm just going to tell you, right, this is what's happened. He told me what's happened, so I said, right, this is what you've got to do. And I told him what to do. And he did. He went and implemented it. But it's amazing when you go and see somebody, and it uplifted him. I saw that it uplifted him. And I've got some good news to say about it. Today, he's actually hearing back from a couple of real estate agents about a rental property that he's got. And, you know, Tom, if you watch this video, I hope I'm here for you, mate. I'm going to give you a call today, as I said. I've got to drop my bike off, and that's going to be another video. But it's just amazing how when you give someone the time to travel, go see them and talk to them, and just let them talk. You know, there's nothing I could do for Tom, you know, to change the outcome or what happened. What's happened's happened. I offered him my garage to put his stuff in. You know, that's it. You know, Mary and I, you know, if he needed somewhere to shower, we opened up our doors for that because I went and saw him on face value. I mean, I just speak to Mary first. She said, well, you assess him, which is, of course, I'm not a judge. I'm just assessing the man to see what he's about. You know, is he, you know, and it was. You get that gut feeling straight away. And so I offered it to him. He didn't take up on any of it. You know, and he's working, you know, he hasn't missed a day of work and he's living in his car. But anyway, but it's what I'm getting at is it's just amazing how what you project in yourself. If you're miserable all the time, if you're miserable, you've just got a dark cloud over you, you know, and people run from a dark cloud and it's to be expected, you know. And he was like that, you know. He was in the car and he was telling me he's crying, you know. He's a man, you know, and he told me his upbringing. It's similar to mine, you know. It's pretty hard. He's never done drugs. He's never done alcohol, nothing like that. You know, he's got kids, but it's turned it around. So it uplifted him. It like charged him. He's gone, oh fuck, you know. Not because it was me. It was just anybody. It could have been anyone to go and visit him. And it just shows, you know, like I have called him, like I said I would, and I'm supposed to go and see him today for a coffee, you know, and it's not what people want from you. They just want to have a bit of hope that if you put time into something and it's appreciated, that where you put it into, it's going to grow. It's going to be seen. The appreciation, it'll be given, and that's what Tom's done with it. You know, he's seen what I've done for him. You know, and I would have done it regardless. And I don't, you know, and it's uplifted him without him even knowing it. It was good. We had a hug, we had a chat, you know. We spoke. I let him speak. I didn't judge him. I didn't try and interrupt him. I didn't say, oh, but this has happened, that's happened. None of that shit. What's happened, mate. You know, talking about the past, someone else's past, it's happened. You can't judge it. You can't say, well, you could have done that, because it's been done. It's done and dusted. What you've got to bring to light, as I did with Tom, is it's the now. This is what you've got now. So this is what you need to do now. And then when you establish that, well, then you need to look at that at the back, and you need to now, and what I said to him was this: don't extend the me time, but what me time you give yourself, make sure it's quality me time. So go spoil yourself a little bit. Don't change yourself, but just the quality, the me time you have for yourself. Don't extend it like some people. They go, "Oh, want more me time." What do you want more me time for? That's just being selfish. Everyone's allowed to have a quantity of me time, right? You know, but with Tom, obviously, his me time was, he wasn't giving back to himself. You know, he wasn't spoiling himself, buying a new pair of shoes or go see a movie. That's you know, his quality of time, of me time, and he understands that now, and he's doing it. And it was great to hear his voice within 2 days of seeing him. His voice had changed. Oh, you know, I got the real estate. They called me. I got two called me up. You know, and it was fantastic. And then reflecting on my channel, how, and he said to me, he said, "Thanks for coming to see him." And I said to him, "You don't need to thank me, mate. There's no need to thank for that. It's what we should all be doing. Just to go out and see this person." I mean, they might have all brought it on themselves, and you can walk away. You know, you can go, they're just, you know, they're just misery makers, and they're just making up stories or whatever else. And there's those people out there too. But you've got to go and see these people, to, you know, not just people like Tom, just anyone, your next door neighbour. You know, just ask them how they are. Just go see them for what they are. You know, I mean, I've never met Tom in my life until I pulled up in the park. In the park, to see this man, it was heartbreaking. And he's working. You know, and Palaszczuk, she goes on about, you know, "Oh, you know, I've been depicted naked." Yeah, well, you weren't on the street freezing cold. You're not going without, you took the fucking pay rise. How about you donate your pay rise into the community? Why don't you stop all these fucking inquiries that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to get fucking nowhere, right? And start putting them back into the place. The fucking yes, no campaign, whatever you want to agree with, that was $600 fucking million. What a fucking waste of money. You know, Commonwealth Games. I mean, it can go on. Andrews Tunnel. You know, it's over budget, and this is a fact because my missus works on it. It's over a fact. It's $16 billion over budget. You know, then you've got the Metro Tunnel. You know, it just goes on. All this money, you know, in Albanese and shit like this. You know, and then, you know, it just, oh mate, you can sit here forever. But what I want to do is, so just to say to you, Tom's doing well now. He hasn't got a place yet, but he's going to find out today. But it's just, I just want to, as you can see, I've got the TV stopped, and it's James Arthur audition on the X Factor. This is the song, and it's not his own song, but this is a song that saved me. I just want you to hear it, okay? Just listen to it, all right? I'll turn it up.
I said, "Forgive us for what we have done." I said, "Forgive us for what we have done." Oh, we are, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes in my past, but I refuse to live there. Nah, I saw a lot of hearts break in the past, but I refuse to go there. It hurts too much. I'm looking for a crutch. I'm looking for just any girl, just for a touch. I let my angst out. I let myself go, and when I let myself down, I swag it out. Baby girl, I'd like to dance, but I'm just looking for a brief romance. What's wrong with that? I'm young, forgive me. I live fast, die a legend. Oh, Willie. Forgive us for what we have done. But we're young. I said, forgive us for what we have done. 'Cause we're young.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. That song hit me. I was in the garage and I was doing meth. And you know, I wasn't out of control. I wasn't running around on the streets and fucking shit like that. You know, I just wanted to die. Not like the fucking idiots that are on it now. They're fucking being idiots, you know. And I'm an older man. Never done drugs in my life. And for the record, I've been sober now for just over 5 years. Sober. Do I struggle? No. I wasn't addicted. And that people go like, no, I wasn't addicted. I'll tell you, I didn't have to go to rehab. I didn't have to go and see a psychologist. I didn't have to do anything. Literally, I did this. Stop. Yeah, come here, Judy. There you go, hop in. And stop. But that song, music's very important, I think, for the soul. You know, I like opera, you know, whatever music, it's very important. I think if you're in a dark place, we all have our songs that we listen to, we like and everything when we weren't in a dark place. But I think when you well, it's a fact. When you go into a dark place and you've never been there before, you need to start to look at things outside of what you used to do and listen to things that you never listened to, you probably never listened to, you know, otherwise. And you need to do that because it's amazing what you'll find out there. When you're in a dark place, it's very quiet and you hear everything. And so when it comes to music and you like James Arthur, he came from the back, you know, on the streets and everything like that. And now look at him, you know. You hear the words and you go, and it hits you, and there's a glimmer of light there. You've got it. You've just caught something, and it doesn't get you out of the dark place straight away. You've got to listen to it, and you dig, and you know, stuff like that, and it helps get you out of those places. I listen to that song and other songs, and I think music's very important. Poetry's another one that I looked at and read, and you know, at the same time, I never stopped caring about other people, you know, and thinking about others. And while I'm sitting there on the crack pipe, you know, I was thinking, oh, there's other people that are worse off than me. But the element of a bit of selfishness came in and it's gone, well, if I help myself, I've got to help myself. And then I can help others. And that's what I'm doing now. And by making these videos, and I'm noticing that these people that I've not helped, I've just shown them a bit of time, a bit of interest, a bit of care. They're now talking amongst themselves, which is great. You know, and it's really good. You know, and you know, I'm not a racist, even though I've got knock here. Right? So, you know, I've got Aboriginal friends and stuff like that, you know, and you know, it's all right. Knock voted no anyway. So, but yeah, I wanted to put that out there. That it's important to, if you're going to portray yourself as somebody that cares, and you know, you're about helping and stuff. It's easy to open up your wallet and just hand money out. It's not what people want these days. You know, I went into the city, I bought someone a pie and I gave them $5. That person didn't ask me, they were sound asleep, and that was that little Chinaman. But that uplifted him. It gave him a bit of respect. I didn't want to know his story. I didn't even talk to the man. I just said, here, that's it, walked off. And then he was up walking around. You know, it's the time Oscar! You dick! That's my good t-shirt. Oscar! This is only in a Maremma. Look what he's done. Look what Oscar's done already. Have it now. So, to close off, this story's it's going to be just listen to people, listen to yourself. If you've got the time and you can spare it, give it. Those people you might go and see, they mightn't even appreciate the time, but you got to do it anyway, because for out of, you know, say you might get 2 people out of 10 that'll appreciate your time, and you'll go back and I wasted time on 8. No, you didn't. You had to do that to get to the 2 that to appreciate it. You're never going to achieve everything straight away. It's like when I did bodybuilding. You know, I didn't even go to the gym to do bodybuilding. It was to keep the beast inside tired. So I'm making this video just to show you. I went and saw Tom, and it uplifted him, and he was positive. He had that glow about him. So when he's walking into these places, they're not looking at misery coming through the door, because people associate misery with bullshit or stories, or they're not telling the truth, right? But when someone's got a glow about them, oh, positivity, not a liar. Listen to them. They're true to their word, stuff like that. And I believe that helped. Just to go and see him and talk, you know. All right. So just out there, if I can just convey this, just there's going to be some ups and downs. Nothing's a waste of time. If you're given it, you know, there is wasted time. Yes, people do waste their times, especially in relationships. Especially these days in hard times, relationships are put to the test, and that's in all friendships, marriages, you know, everything, relationships with your kids and stuff like that. But with Palaszczuk saying what she said, that really hurt me, because all she's complaining about is just a depiction of herself in the nude, and people are jumping all over it, you know. And that's so. But yeah. Take this video how you will. I just wanted to have a bit of a chat, let you know I'm doing okay. All right, and I appreciate my subscribers and the people who watch this, and thank you. And it's great to see that you're talking amongst yourselves, which is what I want. You know, to help you. And read your stories. I love your stories. I love your comments. You know, they make me laugh. It's great to hear from you. I really love it. You know, and that. All right. Hey Oscar, what do you reckon? Take care, go get a pie.